Hello, all. I am starting a new journal, video journal. I'm not a writer, but I'll put my laptop on my lap and use video in a minute. I am starting a video journal on my journey going natural. This is time two. This is the second time I've done this. And the first time I did it was, I did it for about not quite a year and a half, maybe a year and 3 months, 2, 3 months. And it just wasn't for me. I went to cosmetology school, learned all about chemically treated hair, dyes, relaxers, perms, straightening methods with different tools. So I learned all that. But the one thing that they don't really stress for women of color is natural hair. Not that you can't learn it, but it is you're dealing with a different animal, you know? So this time around, I went natural back in, I can't remember, was it 09, 08, 09, somewhere in there. Did it for about a year. Then decided to put a relaxer in. I found this relaxer called Phytospecific, which actually did my hair wonderfully. But now that I'm not working, and to get one is $60 a pop. Just the one relaxer, $60 a pop. Plus, this is not me going to someone to do it. This is me doing it myself. But I promised myself if I was going to keep a relaxer in my hair, then it would be the Phytospecific. So that's what I did. And you know, my financial situation doesn't allow me to really do that. And I said, I'm at a turning point in my life. I've made a lot of life changes within the last 3 to 6 months. And I feel a lot more confident and comfortable with making the decision that I made to go ahead and just do the big shop. I didn't transition. Last time I transitioned, and I think that actually messed up my curl pattern because I was constantly still blow drying and wrapping and, because my hair was probably about right to here. And then I just let it keep growing. And then I said, no, I'll cut it. And I got the girl to cut it to just below about an inch of the new growth. And, I had so many difficult times with my hair. I have like 3 different hair patterns, I guess, which would be a 4A, 4B, and all the fours. Like, I'm still new to this. I'm just like, my hair is really curly. It's really curly in some spots and wavy in others. So I I actually felt liberated. Let me tell you what I did. I came home after realizing it's time for a relaxer. Do I really need a relaxer? Do I really, honestly, other than the money, do I really need a relaxer? Because if I'm trying to live holistically, I've eliminated prescription medications. Almost all of my prescription medications I've stopped taking. I try to eat organic when I can, but with money it's kind of hard. But I eat as naturally as I can. Lots of veggies. Um, no sodas. I don't do alcohol. So I was like, well, if I'm working on the inside, I should work on the outside as well. And with that, my skin has gotten clearer because I have a hormonal issue that causes my skin to break out, and my hair has been funny, and just a whole bunch of different things. But that's another video. Other than that, I decided that's it. I went into my closet, got out my clippers, and put a number 4 first because I wanted to make sure I was really doing this. Put another number 4 and then a number 3 guard on, and I went to town. I just said, I just took it off, and I felt like I lost 50 pounds. I was like, oh my gosh, I just cut all my hair off, and my hair wasn't that long to begin with. It was really kind of, I had it, short and then a little bit on the top, but I figured, well, I already got new growth. My hair is already short. I might as well just go ahead and cut it off. Why not? So cut it off. And then I realized, dum, 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 I am super duper gray. When I tell you I am gray, I look like Pepe Le Pew. I mean, there's gray, and I knew I was gray. I knew I was gray. A little story. When I go places and I meet people or people I haven't seen in a while or in a good conversation, you know how you're talking and you have your arms crossed or you're looking at the person, how some guys look at women with big breasts and they're looking at them and they look down. People were looking up at me and they're like, oh, are those highlights? And I'm like, who puts gray highlights in their hair? So I've already been a little self-conscious about the gray, but I have to remind myself there's some people right now who have medical conditions, people who have cancer, who are fighting diseases, taking medication to try to get themselves better, they don't have hair at all. So what am I complaining about? Thank God I got hair, gray or not, you know? So I look and I'm like, all right, I'm going to embrace my gray hair. So about a year and a half ago, I stopped dyeing after years of dyeing. I saw my first gray strand when I was about 20 or 21. Um, and 12 years later, I am at this state. You don't even see the back. The back is just salt and pepper gray, and then I got these two stripes like a skunk. So I don't quite understand what's going on, but I'm just like, now that the hair is short, it's not like I can hide behind curling it or styling it a certain way. What you see is what you get. And I'm a student of life. I also enjoy, you know, people and interacting with people and doing things. And um, I love research. I love finding what makes things tick. And for me, the difference between the relaxed LaDonna and the natural LaDonna as perceived by people there's a difference. And for anyone who's done the teeny weeny afro, or for people who are in transition and they're doing their head wraps and their scarves, first of all, rock on, ladies. I love it. I love putting on some bamboo earrings and a head wrap in a minute. But there is an element of unknown, of being unknown to people. And what's crazy is what's known to people is this relaxed, straight, silky hair. And the last time I checked, many women of color don't have that beautiful, long, silky hair. They just don't. It comes out like how my hair is coming out. And, you know, I remember when I went natural the first time, somebody was like, "Oh, I know your hair will be pretty." And I'm like, how do you know that? Because I don't even know that. This is my hair. How do you know? So, of course, it's like in the back of my mind when I went natural the first time, it was like I was looking for this vision of what everybody else saw. But I wasn't accepting the fact that whatever hair was on my head is the same hair that I had been relaxing since I was a child. You know, and the truth be told, I didn't get a choice when it was time for a relaxer. I used to have long hair all the way down here, and it was just thick and wavy, and my mom couldn't handle it. So she decided one day she wanted to put a Vigorol in it. And if any of you know what a Vigorol perm is, you would scream, "Ah!" You should never put, it's like freaking ammonia, bleach, and baking soda. Shake it up in a bottle, and it's just like, you know, and I remember from childhood, excuse me, I lost like at least an inch or two of my hair. And of course, you know, I was a pretty little girl. Look at her pigtails and ponytails. But for my mom, it was an easy thing to do. It wasn't about, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, people weren't thinking about what's my kid going to want their hair to look like when they're 15. My mom was worried about being able to have to do two children's hair. So I got the Vigorol, and then eventually it was Dark and Lovely, and then Optimum and Cream of Nature, and I can promise you, if it was on the market, it was in this head. So how do you embrace what you've never seen? How do you do it? By accepting it for what it is. And that's what I'm doing. And that's why I'm making this journal. I'm doing this because it's a way to bounce ideas off myself, but for other people to be able to possibly, I'm assuming many women who are going through a transition period are having phases themselves. I don't think there's one woman who has gone natural and done a teeny weeny afro. It's different when you have extra hair, maybe, I don't know. But cutting your hair off and saying, I'm starting over. I'm changing because I choose to, but that doesn't mean everybody else around you is, that they really want to see what you're doing. And it reminds me of this article. I was actually just reading it last night. And there was a woman who writes for this, what's it called? Curly Nikki, or no, I can't remember it. It's a website, naturalcurls.com or something. I'll have to look. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, long story short, she went natural during a pregnancy and then was now pregnant again. And her husband said, you know, I want a divorce. I mean, I'm summing it up. He basically was like, I want a divorce. And I thought, you would divorce your wife because her hair is natural. Sounds like there's another problem here. Don't get me started on that. But, people feel that strongly about hair. Let me rephrase. People feel that strongly about your hair. Not their hair. Not the hair that they have to get up and do every morning. Or have to deal with if something happens to it. When it goes gray, if it falls out. What happens if she gets chemo? Radiation, her hair comes out. Is he going to love her any less? What happens if she gets in an accident and part of her hair, she gets burned or something happens and her hair no longer grows away? Would she love her any less? Would he love her any less? The point is, our hair is merely an extension of the individual that we are. And how we so choose to let it grow and change it is an extension of the person that we choose to be. So, along my hair quest, I implore all of you to love you for you, regardless of whatever anybody has to say, and I will do the same. So, peace until next time, and see you soon.